I'd like to continue with you to talk about the Vietnam Veterans of America and our direction under Thomas Burke, who was the president, and some things about James McCormick, who was the government affairs person, who's a spark plug, and the rest of the organization, which is going to continue in spite of the age of us. And we are going to welcome, under the guidance of Tom Burke, new generation veterans to join us, the Gulf War veterans, for instance, and beyond. Now, even though we're 501c19, which requires a membership of Vietnam veterans, we're going to be able to change our constitution and reshape the charter. We're the only congressionally chartered veterans organization. So we reshaped the charter to include membership with other younger vets, because the work that we do, have done, and will continue to do is a work of wisdom, which is a certain and constant course. That's what wisdom means. And the Vietnam Veterans of America are a wise organization of veterans who have gotten more for veterans and their families than any other organization since Abraham Lincoln helped the Civil War vets. And so I'd like to bring some of that to light next time we're on, if that's possible. And I want to thank you both for your professionalism, your courtesy. And this is getting to be high-end movie star stuff here, bud.
No, you know what? You're going to see how flexible we are here. Take another 5 minutes if you need, Dominic. Okay, the Vietnam Veterans of America, these are our heroes. Like you say, Tom. We got Tom, we got James McCormick, we got Rocky, we got the awesome guys. Take another 3, 4, 5 minutes while we've got everybody here and talk as much as you want.
I want to tell you something special about the Vietnam Veterans of America. We designed ourselves. We formed ourselves. We came to light in 1986, but we were organized in groups and literally in fighting bunches before that. We're trying to make sense out of what we needed that we didn't get. We try to make sense out of especially Agent Orange. And you remember that giant lawsuit 25 years ago, and the result of it. And the win was an ideal that if Congress didn't give it to us, or they didn't talk to us in agreeing terms, then they are mistaken, and we sue them. And that's what the Agent Orange suit was all about. It was unmistakable that we were suffering from the toxic exposure. The proof of it was indelible. It was easy to see, and the kinds of injuries that we were having, the kinds of cancers that we struggled with, and for generations after us, gave the government a note of join us or fight us. You don't want to fight me on this kinds of thing, because it makes too much legal and common sense. You can't win. And so our organization, when it began years ago, we began to try to help each other. We were veterans, and that's what veterans do. We serve each other. We organize in such a democratic way that it's hard to make a move, because we're a not-for-profit corporation which has a wonderful tax break. A 19 corporation, 501c19 corporation, has a membership requirement, which means that 75% of the members must be Vietnam veterans, and the rest of them, up to 97%, have to be closely related to Vietnam veterans. And so there's a strict membership requirement, rightfully so, because the government gives us a great tax break. In return, the government's aware that we do what they can't do. We can serve veterans in a way that the government can't. And so that's what the tax break is about. They just don't give you a tax break because they're nice people. They give you a tax break because you're doing work that's in close and personal for veterans that the government can't do or understand how to do. So we organized and we made ourselves with a board of directors, but we also have the unique craft of having a board which decides on issues that are relevant and pertinent to our organization going forward, and decide on any change or any addition or any reduction, anything of any financial matter, et cetera, et cetera. And but the rank and file of the board, there are 24 board members, have to then bring it to all of the chapters in the 50 states. And so unlike any other corporation where the board decides and then that's what is gospel, we have to bring it to a vote, a national vote, like an election. And it's very, very difficult to communicate properly. It's very difficult to assemble a national vote with delegates from every state. And it's sometimes slow to move. Nonetheless, we are the most democratic organization, not-for-profit organization. And something that we were proud of because of the way we functioned. And we went down to the chapter level. We went down to him and her in the middle of Mississippi and in the center of Madison Avenue in New York City. Well, those two chapters are different, but they're both valuable and important. And so it's that dichotomy, it's that separation of veterans who are united by a purpose with the national organization. However, now we have an opportunity because our headquarters are expensive to manage and run. We're overly paying for rent and have for a long, long time. And we have an opportunity to move to the great city of Pittsburgh. And that city has welcomed us. They sent the mayor's real estate person to us to welcome us. And a couple of law firms showed up, and Rocky Blyer, who's a Vietnam veteran and played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, welcomed us. And a real estate owner welcomed us, and he offered us a space on a very dignified building called the Kopfer Building in the center of Pittsburgh. And it would be a reduction in rent, a reduction in salary, a reduction in operating costs that would be stunning. And at the same time allow us to grow. Pittsburgh is a very, very strong and patriotic city. And they would welcome the Vietnam veterans there with open arms. And they have already. But we have to wait for the vote. And that vote may or may not see it the way that the officers and the president do. And the president works very, very, very hard to manage this operation in truth. And the truth is knowable once it's told. So we're looking at that. It's not a hardship, but it's an issue that we have to overcome and reshape so that we can remain doing what we do. Now, some people are stubborn because they say we should be the last man standing. Nobody gave us anything, so why should we care about giving it to the next generation? I oppose that full on. I oppose that idea. It's significantly it's unrealistic. It's not right. It's not compassionate with veterans, and not compassionate for what our motto is, that never would one generation of veterans abandon another. And so, but there are some who want that, and I understand that, but I don't agree with it. Last man standing is a folly to think about that. It's just impossible to think of our organization as some last person who's 95 years old turning the lights out and walking away with his collar up and his hat on because it's raining. It's like a drama that is viable to many of us because they didn't give us anything when we came back, but it's not right. And so we're going to continue, and we're going to continue to be better than ever. And the next 100 years for the Vietnam veterans of America are going to be stunning. I promise.
Yes, I think you guys are just getting started. I recruit. Age cannot be used as an excuse around here. So if you are watching today, don't forget we actively recruit here. So the lights aren't going dark; they're just going to brighten up. So